Well, numerous planes are now going down all across the United States of America. Thousands of flights have been delayed and canceled, and this is all because of Chuck Schumer, George Soros, and the Democrats. You see, this government shutdown is causing massive issues across our country, and specifically in the air industry, the aviation industry, and it's causing all these delays, cancelizations, and grounding of our flights. And the Democrats could care less. You see, they fully intend to keep this shutdown going. And as of now, this is still happening, all because their little pet project that they want free healthcare for illegal immigrants when you and I don't even get this so-called free healthcare. I mean, there is a lot going on. It just really goes to show you the true nature of who these Democrats are. And many, I believe, are showing their true colors to the American people because, quite frankly, to sit and shut down the government when Republicans have brought forward a package saying, hey, we're going to keep all of Biden's spending. I believe it was for the next 6 weeks or 6 months, whatever it was, so we can continue to debate this. But the Democrats turned that down because they hate the American people. I've got a lot to share with you. Let's start with what's going on right now. Take a look at this article on Yahoo News, and it's specifically independent. Flights delayed across multiple major airports due to the government shutdown. Chuck Schumer and George Soros' shutdown. Planning a flight soon? It's 10 times more likely to be delayed due to short staffing as before the government shutdown. Historically, there's about a 5% of delays attributed to staffing issues in our towers. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said Wednesday on Fox News on the Will Cain Show. The last couple of days, it's been 53% increase, or 53% as opposed to 5. There are some 13,000 air traffic controllers in the U.S. who still have to work during the shutdown, but are set to miss their first paycheck next Tuesday. Slightly more controllers than usual are calling in sick, Duffy said at a Monday press conference. So where are these delays happening? Well, right now, airports have been swapping. You know, there's been airports from ones in LA to Hollywood, all over that have been impacted. So you never know what airport it's going to hit because it's based on staffing delays, right? But here's the latest on all of that. And this is on Forbes. Staffing shortages hit 8 air traffic hubs Thursday evening. And here's what to know. And here's all the ones that are impacted, by the way. Impacted facilities include Chicago O'Hare, Connecticut's Bradley International Airport, Virginia's Roanoke Regional Airport, as well as Philadelphia Terminal Radar Approach Control, which manages Newark, Liberty International Airport, the Boston Air Route Traffic Control Center, which covers the northeastern swath of New York, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Maine, the Washington ARTCC, which manages air traffic in Baltimore, New York City, and Philadelphia metropolitan areas, and Central Florida Tricon, which manages Orlando International Airport. And then there was also advisories on Wednesday regarding Reagan National Airport and Denver airports, as well as 4 control centers. Boston, Chicago, Houston, LA, Nashville, Philadelphia have all been facilities as well that have kind of had those shortages. And then early Monday, there were reports at Hollywood, Burbank, and LA. They also had shortages there. So as you can see, this is happening all over the place. In fact, over the past few days, there have been thousands of cancelizations. In fact, let me take you to the latest on the number that we're seeing right now. And this is FlightAware. This is a great place that you can go and look information on the flights, what's canceled, where the delays are, and all of that. But as of right now, you can even filter it by airport by the chance if you want to plug it in. But total delays as of today are 13,820. And I've been monitoring this, and it has been slowly going up as the days go on. Some have kind of gone under, but for the most part, you're seeing an increase. And then total delays within, into, or out of the U.S., over 2,000. Total cancellations just today, 354, 39 of which are in the United States. So that is what is happening as a result of these Democrat policies and their little pet project to fund media to the tune of $500,000. They want to give our tax-paying dollars to media by the way, who is biased against conservatives and Republicans and libertarians. But I digress. And on top of that, they're also wanting to give it to illegal immigrants. What gets me really mad is the Democrats are out there lying, and so is their mainstream media counterparts saying, oh, we're not giving it to illegals, it's to U.S. citizens. No, it's not. What's happening is there are immigrants who come into the U.S. and they all, pretty much a majority of them say, I'm seeking asylum. I mean, they lose their cases, but it takes 3, 5, anywhere from 1 to 5 years-ish for them to actually get through this process. It could be longer. But what they're saying is these people who are crying asylum should get this free healthcare and all of this through these loopholes that we've had forever through Obamacare and all of that. And it's really put a strain on our healthcare system. And basically, they're getting it for free. Right? And this is what the Democrats want to keep going while claiming these asylum seekers are residents when they're not. Right? And that's what's going on here. And it makes me sick to my stomach that the media is covering for them. But kind of back to the issue at hand regarding these flights. I know Justice Knight and myself are going to be flying next week. Fingers crossed. We'll see how that goes. Lots going on with that. But things are so bad that Sean Duffy right now is threatening to fire air traffic controllers. And there's a reason for that, you see, because air traffic controllers are the ones who basically put an end to the government shutdown in 2019. Because if they don't work, right, they call in sick and they're not getting paid right now, right? They're not getting paid. So they're saying, hey, I'm not going to work. I'm not getting paid. Why work? And there's many of other excuses, but they're the ones that caused the last government shutdown to resume again. Because all these flights delayed. You take out that air traffic controller, you're going to ground a lot of flights, right? So just a reminder of what happened in 2019. This is on WGBH.org. Air traffic controllers helped end the last government shutdown, and maybe they'll do it again. More than a month into the last government shutdown in 2019, a few air traffic controllers finally reached a breaking point. There was only a slight increase, right, in sick leave at 2 facilities in Virginia and Florida that handle high altitude traffic, according to the FAA, but it was enough to throw some major East Coast airports into chaos. And we're again bracing for such possibilities, right? This is why Sean Duffy is now coming out saying, hey, if you guys call in, we're going to have an issue with that because they're going to cause chaos. It could cause chaos in the airport. And these people should be getting paid, by the way. But here's Gizmodo. I don't care for Gizmodo as a news source, but here it is. And they give a real sour opinion of Sean Duffy. I do not. Sean Duffy threatens to fire air traffic controllers as 10% call out sick during the shutdown. Here's what he said. Sean Duffy, the former reality TV host and current Secretary of Transportation, is upset with air traffic controllers who are calling out sick during the shutdown, which has caused a surge in delays at airports across the country. And he threatened to fire them. And here's what he said. He goes, quote, I think what's happening here, 90% of our controllers, they show up, they come to work, but 10% of them are lashing out, Duffy told Fox Business host Stuart Varney. And he goes on to state this, when you come to work, you get paid. If you don't come to work, you don't get paid. And so that's the way we're going to do it. In other words, in that first part here, he says, you know what? If they're coming to work, we're going to make sure they get paid, even if it's past the delay. Right? Eventually, he's saying that they're going to get their money, but he goes on. But listen, we're also looking at if we have a continual small subset of controllers that don't show up to work, said Duffy, and they're the problem children. Listen, we need more controllers, but we need the best and the brightest, the dedicated controllers. And if we have some on our staff that are not dedicated like we need, we're going to let them go. In other words, he is kind of putting the threat out there. If you don't go to work, we're not gonna hire you. We're just gonna let you go, and we're gonna replace you with other controllers. And it's a really hairy spot because I understand, during these shutdowns, things get stressful, and they are going to be. So I kind of let you form your opinion on all of that. But as you can tell, we've got some real stuff going on. And the Democrats don't give two licks. In fact, Chuck Schumer is out there bragging, in my opinion, about it. This is on the New York Post. Chuck Schumer ripped, proclaiming shutdown is better for Democrats. As troops, federal workers are expected to miss their first paycheck. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer was lambasted by Republicans Thursday for suggesting the government shutdown was better for Democrats, even as federal employees and American troops will be denied paychecks in the coming weeks. Schumer said, "Every day that Republicans refuse to negotiate the end of this shutdown, the worse it gets for Americans, and the clearer it becomes for those who are fighting for them. Each day, our case to fix health care and end this shutdown gets better and better," he says. "Stronger and stronger," he says, because families are opening their letters showing how high their premiums will climb, which is a lie, if Republicans get their way. He also said they're seeing why this fight matters. It's about protecting their health care and the bank accounts and their futures. Interesting, right? So first of all, he starts off with a lie. It's not going to go up if Republicans have their way. It will go up if Democrats do, because they're going to keep all of this illegal immigration health care in there. We cannot afford it as Americans. We're already suffering as is. Donald Trump actually put an entire statement out on the White House about Chuck Schumer taunting America and how every day it gets better and better for them. I thought that was rather interesting. But there you have it. I think Chuck Schumer is a disgusting person, in my opinion. And by the way, if you didn't see my report on Restricted Republic, I gave an entire report about Chuck Schumer and how he's basically talking to these non-government organization groups, George Soros-funded groups, and he's having meetings with these people about how he should keep the government closed. And so he's got this financial backing of these NGOs kind of behind him, and they're making phone calls to senators and the whole 9 yards. So there you have a little George Soros money involved in the matter as well. But anyhow, wanted to bring that to you. Can't wait to read your thoughts, comments, and concerns. I love you all. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.